This video is being brought to you by Freedom Garage. Hey y'all, this is Dan from Freedom Garage, and I'm here in the shop today just working on the rack and pinion steering assembly for this 2011 GMC Yukon Denali. And I had to pull the rack and pinion. There's some rust underneath there, and first replaced the power steering pump, the power steering lines, the return, the pressure line, and I got into it, and there are actually these transfer lines that are on the rack and pinion itself that had rusted away. So I got new lines, but there are seals on these lines, and you can see really close. I don't know if you guys, up front here, there's a place for an O-ring. And in all the videos I looked at, all the everywhere, I ended up, I couldn't find them. All the O-rings that I used on my little Harbor Freight kit, none of those worked. They were all too big. The other lines that go into the front, the pressure and the return and all that, use a duckbill seal. So I had those. I have those. Those are in the truck right now, and I'll connect those up. Those were fine, but it's these transfer lines, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got the rack and pinion right here on the bench. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but I could not find where these seals were. And so it's times like this where I do all my searching on the internet. I don't see it in anyone's video or whatever, that I figured might as well make a video and show where these, number one, what the part number is and where these O-rings go and where you can get them. They're actually discontinued at this point, but I'll show you that once I get turn this camera around. You can guys see what I'm talking about on the rack and pinion. But that's why I'm making this video, because in everything I saw out there, it took me a long time to figure this out and to find the right part and all that. So I want to share on the internet with all y'all. So won't be a really exciting video, won't be a video that probably applies to most people that even watch this or that are subscribers to my channel. Thank you if you are a subscriber to the channel. If you aren't, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the like. But this video, like my clothes washer video about the pump, that again was one of those that I hadn't come across that issue before, and so I wanted to share. A lot of my videos are like that, is hey, let me just throw it out there on the internet, so at least it's out there so someone else doesn't have to resolve the issue. So anyway, let me show what I'm talking about, and we'll turn this camera around. I'm also going to add here, I don't know where I'll put it in the video, but this is for my 2011 GMC Yukon Denali, but this would also apply for the same year's Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, and Yukon XL. I don't know if the 3/4 tons would be different. I don't know about the rack and pinions in those, but whatever uses that rack and pinion setup throughout those years, and I think it goes from somewhere like 2007, 2008, all the way up to like 2014. But this generation, Tahoe, Silverado, Suburban, etc. So thank you. So here on my messy workbench, you can see I've got the rack and pinion here in the vise, and this is the actual view would have this. So the driver's side wheel would be right here. The passenger side wheel would be over here. Here you have the steering column connected for turning. Your pressure and return lines would be right here. They again have a duckbill seal, so they're still in the truck. But these are the two lines I'm talking about right here. And you can see here's one of the transfer lines that would go in right about, doing this one-handed, go like that. So it connects in right here, and you can see it goes in there, and then the other goes in like that and ends up connecting like that. So it would look about like that. That's what your transfer lines look like. They're a pressure line within the rack and pinion going out and then coming back. But you can see, if I pull this one out, you can see there is the camera focus right there. I don't know if it will focus, but there's a ridge where there should be an O-ring. Right now I don't have it in, but there's a ridge there where GM had you have an O-ring. Here is the actual part number. You can see it's 260-81619. And you can see it's a really small little, probably 8mm O-ring with a outer diameter, inner diameter of, I believe 6mm. And I think it's like a 1.27 millimeters in thickness. So each one of these little guys was $15, $16, something like that. So for together, you need two of them. I paid about $30, $32 for both of these. So they go at the end of these lines going in, and then they seal. And then there is a plate that goes on top. This little guy right there, plate goes on top. And then there is a bolt that ends up going in right here. This one I stripped trying to get everything off. So I had to get a new bolt. That is a M6 metric bolt. So I think it's an 8mm head, hex head, but it's an M6 bolt by I think 16mm long that goes in there. I got another bolt. Again, I couldn't get that from the dealer. They were out. They discontinued these O-rings, so you can still find them on the internets around, but they're expensive for what they are. This little guy right there. And that's how you would rebuild your rack and pinion. So I hope this helps somebody. Again, once you get it going, it's a fairly simple process, but that is what you will need to find to make sure you have, again, your duckbill seals here, and then your O-ring seals for that part number. Again, GM part number 260-81619. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this helps somebody. You all have a good day. This how-to video was brought to you by Freedom Garage. Freedom Garage is a charitable ministry that loves on God's people through cars. We specialize in oil changes and basic vehicle maintenance for single moms, widows, seminary students, retirees on fixed incomes, clergy, and missionaries. Our goal is to become a self-sustaining charity through social media by telling stories and creating how-to videos to help others. Please consider supporting us by subscribing to this YouTube channel and checking out the affiliate links in the video description. You can also follow our Instagram page at freedom_garage_ky.